Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel Media Greg, and in this one we are going to be learning Photoshop. Now before starting, let me tell you, if you do not have downloaded and installed Adobe Photoshop, what you can do is please refer to one of my previous video where I teach how you can download Adobe Creative Cloud and their creative applications. So make sure you head over to the description and watch that video. Once you install Adobe Creative Cloud and you have Adobe Photoshop installed in your computer, you can just come back to this one. So let's just assume that you have Adobe Photoshop installed in your computer. So let's just launch our software really quickly. So you can see I have Adobe Photoshop pinned in my taskbar, and you can see I have Adobe Photoshop launched. So yeah, you can see currently the home screen of Adobe Photoshop, and on your left side is the similar option to if you watched Adobe Premiere Pro video. You can see you have similar options in here. You have create new or open a recent project, and these are all of my projects whom I've been working recently. So I'm just going to be clicking on create new. So since in this video I'm going to be teaching you how you can apply basic effects on your photo, like for example how you can change the background of a photo and how you can apply some color filters and make a selection for your subject. So what we are going to be doing is either we can create a new project from here by clicking on this create new, or what I am going to be doing in my case is I'm going to be clicking on close, and I am from my desktop I am going to be dragging my two photos in here. So these two photos are on which we are going to be working today. So I'm going to be dragging in Photoshop, and in no time you will be able to see that our photos are ready to go. So you can see this is our first photo, and this is our secondary photo. And what we are going to be doing here is that we are going to be making a selection around this model, and we are going to be replacing this background with this one, and later on we are going to be applying some blurs and filters on it to make it even more appealing. So without any further ado, let's get started. So first of all, just head over to your subject's photo, and there are a couple of ways to make a selection in Photoshop. So let me tell you the easiest one, which will get the job done in our case. So what you can do is head over to this magic wand tool. As you can see, the magic wand tool, and when you right click on it, you can see some more options just pop up, and here is an object selection tool and a quick selection tool and a magic wand tool. So I would like to prefer quick selection tool in this case. Just select this tool, and then you need to just click and drag the areas you want to select. So the point to be noted here is that I'm currently selecting the area which I do not want with my subject and the area which I want to extract from my model. So you can see I'm currently selecting the leaves, and you can see we have some over selection in here, but we will fix that later. So you can see we can just click our mouse button and drag, and it is making our selection. Right now you can see it have selected a lot of area which we do not want to select. So you are going to be pressing and holding Alt, and you can see let me enlarge it. So you can see there is a plus icon in the center of our tool, and when I press Alt, you can see it just converts into minus, which means it is going to be excluding those areas. So I want to exclude these hairs, so let me just do that by holding Alt. You can see the hairs are being excluded. We also don't want to select the hat in this case, so we are going to be excluding that too. We can fix this later. You can select again the areas you want to select. So this area, like for example, we want to select this area because we need to remove it. So we can select this area again slowly. As you know, slow and steady wins the race. So we're going to be selecting this area nice and slow. Okay, let's just go for this lower part, and you can see how amazing this tool is. It just automatically selected all of that area, and similarly is going to be happening for this area. By the way, you can press Q on your keyboard to see your subject that you selected, and you can press again Q to this is a quick mask mode which enables you to see the areas that you've selected and the ones that you didn't. So I'm going to be deselecting this part of the cap. Just hold Alt and select this area, and now when you press Q, you can see we've done a pretty good job in here. Okay, so now to extract our subject from the background, what you need to do is just head over to your layers panel on your lower right side of your screen, and from there you can see this mask button with a little circle in the center. You need to click this. So as you can see right now, our subject disappeared, but we don't want that. We want our background to be disappeared. So let's just invert this whole scenario by simply clicking on this mask option. As you can see on your right side under the layers panel, make sure your mask is selected, and then from your keyboard press Ctrl and I. Voila, so you can see our subject is nicely extracted from the background, and now here you can see we have some imperfections, and we can easily fix them by selecting our brush tool. This is our brush tool, and make sure white is selected in your foreground color. So press this invert arrow, and then you are going to be selecting all the parts which are little bit problematic. So you can simply fix these little issues. We also have a bit on her hand, so we are going to fix that too. And yeah, I think we've done a pretty good job. Now what you can do is just hold your mouse button and drag this to your second image and release your mouse button. So you can see our subject is now on our secondary image, and this is going to be its new background. So let's just scale it properly and adjust it according to our image size. So I think this is good, and click the tick icon on top of your screen, and now you can see we have successfully changed the background of our image. And now to make it look even more natural, what you can do, from your layers panel you can select your background and head over to filters, and from there to blur gallery. Here you need to apply this tilt shift, which is a form of a blur, and you can see when we apply this seems a little bit complex, but it is really simple. You can, by selecting this center circle, you can adjust the amount of blur. So right now we need to adjust the position of our blur, so I'm going to be placing it on the bottom, and I'm going to move this top line all the way to the top. And after that I'm going to be increasing the amount of blur using this circle, so you can see the blur is just increasing and our picture looks even more natural. So after that, once you're done, click OK, and boom, you can see our pictures looks even more natural. So here it was before the blur, and here is it after the blur. So that's how you change the background in Photoshop and apply little filters. I hope you understood the concept. If you did so, make sure to subscribe to the channel, like the video and share with friends. Until next time, peace.